Hello and welcome. Let's talk about one of the biggest, most important shifts happening in the world right now, the green revolution in logistics. Seriously, this is a huge deal. It's not just about a few eco-friendly policies. We're talking about a complete reinvention of how literally everything gets from point A to point B. It's a move from focusing only on the bottom line to focusing on our planet.
And if you're wondering just how big this shift is, well, just look at this number. That's $2.9 trillion. No, that's not a typo. That's the estimated size of the global green logistics market by 2032. This isn't some small niche trend. It's a massive tidal wave of money and innovation that's completely changing the game. So you gotta ask, right? Why is all this happening right now? Well, it's because the entire world of logistics is standing at a major crossroads. The old way of doing things, the system that, let's face it, built our modern economy, it's just not cutting it anymore. It can't handle the challenges of today, let alone tomorrow. This really breaks it down perfectly. For decades, the traditional supply chain was all about three things: cost, service, and quality. That's it. But the new approach, it doesn't throw that rule book out. It just adds two absolutely critical new layers to it: sustainability and resilience. It's about creating a system that's not just efficient, but can also handle shocks and protect our environment at the same time. Now, let's be real. This whole evolution isn't happening just because it's the right thing to do. It's happening because of a perfect storm of pressure, a real squeeze coming from every single direction, basically forcing the industry to change. First up, you've got governments and regulators. All across the globe, tough new environmental laws are being put into place. All of a sudden, being sustainable isn't just a nice idea for a press release, it's a legal requirement. Companies have to adapt, or they're going to pay some pretty hefty fines. At the exact same time, you've got pressure coming from us, the customers. More and more people are voting with their wallets. We're actively looking for businesses that share our values. And if your competitor can get a product to your door with a smaller carbon footprint, well, you're suddenly at a huge disadvantage. And finally, businesses are having their own aha moment. They're realizing that being sustainable is just good business. It makes your brand look great, it pulls in investors who care about ESG goals, and it builds real, lasting trust with your customers. It's what you call a win-win-win. I love this quote because it just nails the new reality. It says it all. Sustainability has officially moved out of the marketing department and into the boardroom. It's not a trend anymore. It's an essential part of any company's long-term survival strategy. Okay, so the pressure is on from every angle. But how do companies actually pull this off? How do they make this massive green transformation happen? Well, the answer, in a word, is technology. Tech is the engine that's making all of this not just possible, but efficient and even profitable. Before we dive deeper, let's just quickly make sure we're on the same page. What is green logistics, really? It's not just one thing. It's a whole approach. It means using eco-friendly processes, making the absolute most of every resource you have, and systematically shrinking your carbon footprint across the entire supply chain, the whole shebang. And this superstar player in all of this? It's artificial intelligence. You can think of AI as the brain of the whole operation. First, its algorithms sift through millions of data points, traffic, weather, you name it, to find the absolute fastest and most fuel-efficient routes. Second, it figures out how to pack every truck perfectly, kind of like a game of Tetris on a superhuman level, so you need fewer trucks on the road. And third, it watches fuel use in real time, constantly finding little ways to save even more. All right, that all sounds pretty amazing on paper, doesn't it? But does this stuff actually work out there in the messy real world? You bet it does. Let's dig into a real-life success story to see what this looks like when it all comes together. So here was the situation. A major company was basically flying blind. They had no way of predicting big disruptions, things like hurricanes or political crises, and it was causing absolute chaos in their operations. And trying to hit your green targets in the middle of that kind of mess? Yeah, forget about it. So Cosentus came in and built this incredibly smart risk monitoring app. It used AI and machine learning to scan huge amounts of data from all over the world, letting them see trouble coming from a mile away. But here's the really genius part. They also built in a tool to track the company's carbon footprint and optimize routes on the fly. For the first time, it directly connected managing risk with being green. And the results? You better believe they were impressive. First off, a 25% jump in how effectively they could handle risks. Now, what does that actually mean? It means they were dodging 1 out of every 4 potential disasters that used to knock them off course. Incredible. And the impact on the bottom line? Huge. By sidestepping all those disruptions, the client saved millions of dollars. And this is the key thing I really want you to take away from all this. When you use technology the right way, going green isn't an expense. It's a direct line to saving a ton of money and building a much, much stronger business. You know, that story isn't just some cool one-off anecdote. It's literally a blueprint. It's a roadmap that any business can follow to build a supply chain that's not just sustainable, but also tough enough to handle whatever the future decides to throw at it.
It really all boils down to 3 core strategies. Number 1, use real-time data and smart analytics to see problems coming before they hit you. Number 2, build flexible operations that can pivot in an instant when things change. And number 3, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread out your supplier base so problem in one part of the world doesn't shut you down completely. That's the trifecta for a future-proof business.
And all of this brings us to one final, really critical question. So take a hard look at your own operations and ask this: is your supply chain built for the world of yesterday, or is it ready for the world of tomorrow? Because make no mistake, the choice between being fragile and being resilient, smart, and sustainable, that choice is going to define the winners and the losers of the next decade. Thanks for tuning in.